Good afternoon, y'all. What's up? This is Joe here at Mad Vapes and Boom. Couldn't tell by the giant A that says Mountaineers backwards. Today's going to be kind of an informative video on coil life and changing a coil. Now, I guess not so much changing a coil because I'm only going to do it to this one because I need to change the coil on this one. But this is kind of a guide to better coil life. So when you get into vaping, coils are something you're going to have to replace over time. And I think this is where most people run into issues, and most people just give up or say, I'm tired of it, I don't want to do it anymore, because they're constantly burning through coils. Well, there's a few things that you can do to prevent burning through coils, and there's a few pieces of knowledge that's helpful when you're selecting liquids to use as to whether you're going to move through coils or not. So we'll start out with replacing coils, just to kind of give you some general tips. So in this device, when I want to replace a coil, I actually have to lose the liquid that's inside of the tank. There's no way to keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it out. This is the new Joytech Eco AIO, and I'm using salt base. And I really like Solace. I use their creamy tobacco. It is a phenomenal flavor. So now that I've drained off the majority of the excess, I'm going to remove the coil. So I know that didn't really show you much, but I'm getting ready to show you. This is your coil right here. Okay, there's the bottom. You have your contact and your insulator, and that's where it screws into. So all I did was unscrew it. I just used the paper towel so I didn't get any liquid on my hands. So now, getting a new coil. When you're replacing a coil, and this goes for any device that uses replaceable coils, it is, in my opinion, you want to saturate them. You want to get them ready to be vaped. So once again, here you have the new coil. Here the top, which you can see down inside. It's not the greatest on my camera, but you can kind of get an idea. And then your bottom and the insulator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my liquid here. Now this coil doesn't have a lot of cotton in it, so I did about 3 drops while rotating the device itself, or rotating the coil itself, and that's just going to kind of get that cotton nice and saturated, before I drop it in. Now you won't be able to tell over camera, but in person there's this little window right here. There's one on each side, and that's where the liquid saturates through. You can actually watch the liquid become dark and saturated with liquid. So now that I've done that, I'm going to tighten it back on, just hand tight, nothing crazy hard, just tight enough to where I know it stays. Drop my glass back on. Fill it up. And tighten the top. Now, it's easy as that. Done. Now you can slowly watch as air bubbles rise. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You can see it kind of right there, rising up to the top. You'll be able to see air bubbles rise. That lets you know that the liquid, your juice, is slowly filling up the cotton, and it's getting rid of all the oxygen that's in there. Now, to getting good coil life, what you want to do is whenever you're ready to vape, okay, only fire the device when you're ready to inhale. I see a lot of people who, I should have had another mod with me. The only other one I have with me is my Infinix. I see a lot of people who will fire mod and try and get it to heat up and then inhale. Even smaller coils, they're so powerful that they fire almost instantly. You don't need to do that. Now, when you get into rebuilding your own, that's a different beast. That's a different video. Yes, you can do that. But with pre-made coils, you really you need to hit it, breathe in as soon as you fire. So as long as you're keeping constant airflow to that coil while it's firing, you should be fine. It'll prevent it from overheating or burning the cotton. 2 types of liquids. If the liquid is very sweet, like everybody's favorite strawberry waffle flavor, we'll just say. Very, very sweet flavor. I love it. I've been vaping it for years. I'll continue to vape it. It is phenomenal. However, it does have a lot of sweetener in it. That sweetener cakes onto the coil, which then burns the cotton. So you'll find yourself going through coils quicker and quicker with sweeter and sweeter juices. Same for like coffee flavors or like heavy vanilla flavors, custard flavors. It's just, they're sweet. You're going to move through coils. Thirdly, the amount of liquid in the tank. Now, this tank, it's going to be kind of hard to see with the camera, but those saturation holes are all the way at the bottom. So I can really run this thing down pretty far and not be concerned with it. I should have pretty good coil life. But a lot of other devices, those wicking holes might be halfway up the tank. If you happen to have one of those, try and keep your tank full. Try and keep it as full as possible. Or if you're out and about, you don't have any liquid on you and you really need to hit, vape it, take a hit, and then give it a good 10-15 seconds. Let it saturate. That's if it's below that line. It's below where the window is. Give it a few seconds to really pull up liquid. Now, if you're all the way full or halfway empty but your window's down, give it 3 to 4 seconds in between each hit. I think I see a lot of people who hit it like that. You'll burn the cotton sooner than later. Vaping it back to back, it's salt-based too, that's a lot of nicotine. You'll burn the cotton a lot sooner if you hit it back to back than if you were to just hit it once, let it sit for 3 or 4 seconds. Even 3 or 4 seconds makes a world of a difference. So always make sure you have liquid in the tank. Always make sure you have airflow moving through the coil when you're firing it. Always make sure you give it a few seconds in between each hit. And you do those 3 things, you should get phenomenal coil life. You should get great coil life. Hopefully you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Y'all enjoy your day.